So I've been looking into the word let us, right? Well, an interesting thing about the word is it also ends in an H, which means it's a feminine word, right? Now, it's used again with Adam when God says, let us, right? Gasol, or, it's kind of an unusual way to say the word, or Habah. Two ways to say it. Now, one that's spelled Gash, right? And the A is an ayin, right, by the way. That's not an olive, right? So its first use, right, is when God made us, right, in our image, and now new, right, which is in UW, right, is masculine, right? But us is feminine. Do you see? Right. So it made us one and then two, right? That's why we have true hermaphroditism. And even some people go transgendered, even though you understand. I know. Or even gay, right? Now, the thing is, like I told you, though, right, obviously two gay guys there, but the point is, right, you try to tell people how to feel, right? Sometimes, right? That's the problem. Yeah. Your sons do it too, right? That's the problem, right? They want to tell a straight man he's gay and then not train him and then try to make you have sex with him or give him bad evals, right? And he can't do his job and then want to act like he didn't serve his country with honor, right? No, it's them who don't understand honor, right? Because you didn't teach it to them parents, right? Now, we all know love does everything good to you, right? Even when you're wrong. But that's the problem. Love can't stop creatures from acting out badly, right? It just doesn't stop loving you no matter what you do, right? But that don't mean there are not consequences for your actions here, right? See, that's what you want to act like, too. Oh, I can do whatever I want. No. You can't do certain things. They're just as much of a crime for you as it is to me, right? Now, children, right? You're a child if you're under a certain age. Do you understand that, right? In Georgia, I was told it was 16. In other states, 18, right? But whatever that state says you have to be, that's how old you have to be, right? And it ain't pedophilia, I know, if you're in my state and you do it, right? And you're 16 and older, right? See, the key word is 16 and older can consent to a sex act with an adult, right? That's what it's supposed to be about, right? I know. It's not pedophilia here, right? Even if it is in your state, right? So when you come to Georgia, you play by Georgia rules, right? Another movie with Jane Fonda, right? And Miss Lindsay Lohan, right? Whole point, though, is, right? You have to realize you're playing games with each other in the first place, right? All these videos, all these things you're doing, all your fans, right? You notice, though, there's only still a few million, which is more than I got. I mean, way more, way more. But the reason is, it's a group of them, right? And they gotta buy your records, right? They gotta do all that for you, right? Well, they gotta have money from somewhere. You know, the people who don't buy your records are the other 300 million out of the 1 million who do. Your sales really suck. I mean, I'm not trying to be mean, but let's be honest. See what you're actually being promoted to do, right? Promote others, right? Or yourself. But when you're trying to help others, you won't even have friends in this world, right? Because most people, again, right, don't want to be friendly, right? They consider you a stranger and then you're a danger, right? That's because there is a dangerous stranger. His name is Satan, and he taught us the knowledge of good and evil, right? He became as one of us too, right? The weird thing about the word is, even when it's used in chapter 11 of Genesis, it's changed a little bit, but it's still the root word. I know. But the problem is, right, it's still feminine to masculine, right? New, hey new, right? I know. Or behold our, right? And us, ha, da, or gasa, right? And I'm still probably not saying it perfectly correctly, right? Are feminine rooted words, right? So you have the feminine us, right? And the masculine our, right? Saying we're making mankind, right? Adam, in our image and our likeness, in our likeness, right? So us, when it's speaking plurally, includes the female, right? Our new and image and likeness are both our image, our likeness. But from one came two, right? You're getting bogged down in your own image, man, right? She's no longer in you, right? Do you understand what that means? Right. You were one person of both. 50-50, right? Let's put it in a Chinese concept. Yin and yang were once one, but now they're divided into two separate things, right? One representing the masculine, one representing the feminine, right? Yeah. And so what happens is, the devil makes you do it, right? By neglecting her within him, right? Now, this was not always the case, right? He was only one with her in Eden, right? But when, again, right, we became two, right? And we did the deed with Satan we weren't supposed to do the deed with, right? That was evil enough, right? To give us the knowledge of good and evil itself. And I don't think it was playing with a fruit tree from a fruit. I know. There's two different references to do the two different kinds of trees. One called the tree of life, one called the tree of knowledge of good and evil, right? Well, they're not called the apple tree of the knowledge of good and evil, right? They're called the tree, right? Something a little bit different, right, about these two particular trees, right? Now, cherub is singular, right? Cherubim is plural. Cherubim is 2 or 3 angels, right? Right. Messengers from heaven, right? Now, cherubim have 2 wings. There are those who have 4 wings, and they're also called cherubs, right? But the seraphim have 6 wings, right? With 2, they cover the top half of the body. With 2, the bottom half. And with 2, they fly, right? Right. So you can't even see what a seraphim looks like, right? The cherubim described in Ezekiel has 4 different faces, facing in 4 different directions. And one of them is, he looked like a man, right? Exactly. And then the other 4 are animals, right? Now, the gender of the angel is never revealed, right? You're assuming it's male or female too, right? Though there are women who have wings like a stork, right? In Ezekiel as well. Have you read about those 2 women? Right. Who do they represent? Right. What is their purpose in Ezekiel? Well, they have wings too, but like a stork, right? Is this why you again came up with the legend of the stork delivering the babies, right? It's biblical. It's definitely biblical. But, no, it's the ladies who deliver the babies, right? And the doctors or whoever midwives, right? And that's another problem. Right? Whoever delivers the babies must deliver them healthy, right? Whether a woman gynecologist or a woman midwife, right? Or a male gynecologist, or I guess a mid-husband, right? I don't know, right? But you can dance with anyone, I know. You can have sex with anyone, right? The sex act is physical, not spiritual. You can be with anyone, right? Choice, though, plays a role, right? I keep trying to explain that to you, too, right? I ask. I don't just take, right? So, if something happens with the girl when she's in the house, right? She consented because I asked her to say yes or no, right? But then she regretted it after, right? Now, motive becomes, I did this with this man anyway, and I know I shouldn't have, but, right, I need to make sure he don't remember either, right? Right. And then she hit me over the head with one of my sticks by the door, right? But like I told you, right, I'm disabled, but I still function, right? I can do things, but not everything, right? That don't change that, right? I know. But I also told you about forgiveness, about moving on from the other girl, right? If I was with her, I ain't been with no one since, I don't think, unless they're sneaking to the house at night. I can't prove that either, right? Whether they are or not, right? Even if someone's messing with the TV, right? But like I said, all I can do is tell my doctor about it. Someone's messing with the TV, right? Changing the channels. They ain't did it in a few days, right? What does that mean? Right? Nothing, right? You just quit changing the channels because it's not, like I told you, going to matter to them if they're denying the last two incidences, right? They'll deny this one too, right? Because I still can't say who changed the channel, right? Now, like I said, if you want me to know you're here, well, you gotta find a way besides taking something, right? You gotta leave something that's yours so I know who you are, right? But I still might not remember you, but if I find also something different in the house, I'll know it's not mine too, right? Right. Mm-hmm. Right. But kind of whatever, yeah. Right. Oh, I found my keys to the Nissan, so I gotta take them by this, Chevrolet police, right? But the odd thing is they were just on the recliner and I already looked there, right? That kind of seems like someone returned them on it, and then right. I don't know who it was again, but right, they're back, right? But like I told you, right? When you lose something for several months, right? And like I told you, I got in a lot of letters since then, right? And a lot of catalogs, right? And stuff kind of fell on the floor afterwards, right? If you find it under the pile of stuff, it was planted, right? Under the pile of stuff, right? I know. That's to give you a way to return it, idiot. Whoever took it, by the way, right? In the first place, right? But you can't prove nothing nor can I, right? That's the problem, right? It's not provable 100%. That's why it requires faith insight, right? But you still can only see what you allow yourself to see. You can also lie to yourself, right? When you start hating, you start lying to yourself, right? That God taught you to hate each other, right? In the first place, right? The devil taught you all that, right? It's just the opposite side of the coin, too. You love something or you hate it, right? I know that. But when you make the female yin or yang, whichever it is, right? One is light, one is darkness, right? Right. One is positive, one is negative, right? Right. Well, that's the problem. We're all positive and negative, regardless of yin and yang, right? Men can be good or evil, and so can women, right? And nobody's better than the other when it comes to good and evil, right? That's the problem. It don't matter what you're doing wrong, right? To someone, right? If it's you're trying to have sex with a man or you're trying to have sex with a child, that's both wrong. That's both wrong. Or you're trying to have sex with a woman, right? That's wrong too, right? But here's the point, right? One is supposed to be the opposite for that personal reason, right? And you're to seek a wife before you're to seek a husband or another wife, right? That is natural nature, right? Made us male and female. Mm-hmm. I'm also looking into that word and the word nor, right? Now, in Eden, he made us male and female, and the male and female are one in Christ Jesus. Get reference, right? But in Deuteronomy 4:16, he says, do not make graven images male or female. Now, the Gnostics, guess what word they use, though? Nor. I can show you, right? But if you don't believe, it don't matter what I show you either, right? But I ain't showing you, right? There are two witnesses, right? I'm one of two, right? And I can't do it alone either. I'm supposed to go with somebody, right? Maybe anytime I come back too, but at least one other person, even if it's my female, right? But I don't know who she is, right? Now, if you want to volunteer, you can volunteer and stay the night. There's room enough here for two. Right? But after that, like be the Satara thing for Chicago, right? Right. But you could also leave in the morning, right? And then you're the angel of the morning, right? But the female angel, right, of God, right? See, we're all angels. We're all messengers, right? Don't matter your gender, right? By the way, right? And most of us are 50-50 and don't even realize it, right? We think we're 100%, right? I know that. Right. And I swear I can't tell Cardi B from Nicki still, right? Not really, not really. But you're made by your record labels carbon copies of each other, right? Right. The big, beautiful black woman. But then you got Dolly for the whites, right? You know what I mean? Right. But then you got Holmes for the white men, right? Right. White men can have big ones and black men can have big ones, right? That's not the point, right? But most of us are average, right?